Yo, 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 yo. What is up, fight fans? It's your man 3K the Boss, aka Mr. Two Hands Up. Fah Fah. You already know what it is. It's Do Say, baby. Welcome back. It's the second time we're doing this today. As a matter of fact, we were supposed to do it yesterday. I was having a little complications, going through some shit. A fucking hernia, and it flares up from time to time. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, fucking prevents me from doing certain shit until I fucking get it taken care of. So tonight, what we are doing, and if you all want to join me, if you feel up to it, whether you don't, I completely understand. We are rescoring the Austin Trout fight. So right now, I have my TV on pause. If you have the zone or you don't have the zone, you can turn on YouTube. I believe they even have it on the zone rewind. And if they do, I'll check really quick and I'll put mine on the zone rewind as well. And that way, we can start it at this. You guys will know when I started. I'm gonna go from the ring walk to enter the ring, look at the guys, see how they're feeling walk in. I'm taking the atmosphere, and we're gonna score this thing round by round. So let me get out a pen and a pad because unfortunately I'm a minute late. I got caught up. Shout out to DT3. He just dropped the video. I always support my guys. Wanted to check that out. But that's all good and well. I'd like to get started with this thing because nobody, and I understand, this fight is long overdue, but really, fights are timeless. There is never a right or a wrong time to judge a controversial fight. You can always learn something from going back and looking at something you might have missed. It's just like when you're a kid and you watch a more mature show or movie, and within that movie, you might have heard some things when you were a child that you didn't understand, but then when you go back and watch that movie, you understand it. Well, in fighting, we get caught up in atmosphere and things of that nature, and we probably miss some things. So people don't really consider this a controversial fight. People pretty much consider that Canelo had this fight in the bag. I, for one, am of the belief that Canelo lost this fight. I've watched this fight at least 3 times already. I think that I have a pretty sound boxing mind when it comes to calling things down the middle. I will be calling it out round by round for you guys. I will call it just like I did the Anthony Joshua fight, and we will get you guys will get unfreaking and unbiased, punch by punch, round by round, accurate depiction of how I truly see the fight. No sound, of course. Nothing disturbing the fight. Just gonna call it for what it is. So if anybody wants to join in, you're more than welcome. If not, anybody can, go back on their own and do it if they want to do. But that's what we're doing tonight. So that's what I'm about to do. So I'm gonna get ready to get started. Let me get this pen, let me get this paper, and then we'll get straight into it. So I hope everybody's good. George, salute to you, sir. Appreciate you with the super sticker. Mark, God bless you as well, bro. Hope everything is good. Enjoyed you guys on Ring IQ for as long as I could catch you. Hey, what's up? Wayne Henny, salute my guy. Let's get started, man. Regardless of whatever it is, people are pretty much set in their ways and their opinions. But for me, I feel as though this was much more of a controversial fight than people like to let on and believe. And honestly, it really was. And overall things, regardless of whatever it is and however we feel, it was a good fight. It was entertaining. It was fun to watch. I, for one, didn't even think Austin Trout even had it in him to, even test Canelo in the way he did. But he did, surprisingly enough. And, that's the beauty about boxing. You never know what the hell is going to happen. So, yeah, let me stop rambling and let me find a fucking pen. Or let me get my tablet or something. Be right back. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to it. Austin Trout versus Canelo Alvarez. Right now, hitting play on, well, fucking, it is, as a matter of fact, it is on YouTube. For anybody that doesn't have the zone, You can watch it on the Zone Rewind. So I'm doing it on the Zone Rewind as well. So let's get to it. This is Canelo Alvarez versus Austin Trout. Right now we got Austin Trout walking to the ring. You know, he's feeling good. He's looking real warmed up. He's got Sam Watson with him. Got his guy carrying the WBA. You know, wifey's in the audience. She's cheering for him. Look like he got a couple of family members in support. That's always a good thing, man, when you got people supporting. You know, you need that energy. You need that fuel. You know what I'm saying? We all, as fighters, you know, they all get hyped up and they're all confident off of different things. They all fight for different things. That's the beauty about boxing. You know, hey, man, it's a take no prisoner sport, man. Hey, a lot of the girls in his family got on a No Doubt Trout shirt. That's what's up, man. They showing a lot of support, man. That's good, man. He got a lot of support on his side. I think Austin Trout, you know what I'm saying, is a good guy. You know, great champion. You know what I'm saying? Not like, you know what I mean? Not like one of the all-time greats, but just all-around good guy, good champion. You know what I'm saying? Great champion. So no hate against the guy. I think he's a good guy. The freaking stadium is packed, the atmosphere. I mean, look, the alley is so freaking thin as he's walking in. Like, anybody can reach out and grab this guy. Like, if this was like, you know, like, if somebody wanted to, like, harm that dude on the ring, they literally could just go ahead and jab him in the face. like, that's how packed it is. Like, you know, this event is sold out. And it would be beautiful if we could really see boxing, like, go back to this on more of a consistent basis and not be for, like, you know, one or two guys in our sport. I wish we could get it back in such a competitive nature that we see it for all of the guys in the sport. That's the beauty about boxing, man. The atmosphere, man, the ambiance, the ability to take it in, man. It's a lot of drama in boxing. Okay, so Austin Trout's entered the ring. He's making his walk around. He's feeling really good, man. He's feeling like this is the moment he's waited for. We got the Watson twins in the corner, man. He's looking really, really warm right now. He's not chilly at all, man. He's really ready to do his thing. There is no doubt in Austin Trout's mind that he can win this fight. That's what I'm seeing from him. And Canelo, focused as ever, WBC champion, walking down the ring, swinging them arms, you know what I'm saying, letting people know he's ready, black and red robe, sparkling, shining, looking like Canelo usually does, like $1 million, you know what I'm saying, ready to go. Tough guy. Can't take that away from him. Highly competitive. Eddie Reynoso is just like, this is another day at the job. Got props with him. Look, man, this is shaping up to be a good one. It's not like we ain't already saw it, but, you know, I'm gonna call it like it's the first time we watching it, man. Like, even if, I don't know, like, I get this different feeling now that I'm watching it again and I'm calling it. I don't know, like, I got a different appreciation for calling fights. It, like, really energizes me. Maybe this is something I'll do more. If this is something you guys want to see more, I'll quite possibly do so. So yeah, man, we'll make the most of it. I'll make sure too that I'll go pick up like a stand so I can set something up so I can give you guys a visual of, you know, my interpretation of what's going on, what I'm seeing as well. Next time I do this, instead of, you know what I'm saying, it just being on audio as well, I'll give you guys the visual of myself as well when watching the fight. All right, so Canelo's walking through the crowd, you know, phones out, everybody's taking pictures, Mexican flags are waving, you know, the pride of Mexico is really in the building. You could really see that, you know, everybody is in full support of their guy, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's repping for King Nello as they should, you know, he's done great by his country. So let's see what Canelo's going to bring to the table. You know, same with Austin Trout. He's walking through a freaking tsunami of people who could literally reach out and touch this guy by the second. Now, that's kind of a cool thing, but at the same time, it's kind of a bad thing because you never know. Anybody could just be in the audience and probably just jab their freaking fighter with anything that they want to jab him with. You know, shout out to Myron. I see him in the building, MBBC. Shout out to my brother Blue Nuts, man. What's up with you, Brody? All right, man. So Canelo is in the ring. Okay, he's rocking an Under Armour robe. Once again, red and black. You know what I mean? Confidence is intact. He's, you know, doing what he does. Very confident. He's walking in the ring, turns around, embraces the crowd. It looks like it's just another day at the job for him as well. You know, I like the robe. You know what I'm saying? It's got a little razzle-dazzle going on with it. So shout out to Canelo, man. Hey, man, like I said, Duce is no hater. I'm going to call this shit exactly how I see it. I'm not going to sugarcoat shit for nobody. This isn't coming from a place of hate. This is just coming from a place of, understand boxing and understanding and really interpreting things for the way we should see them, not getting caught up in the narratives. Canelo, as a matter of fact, he's warm as well, but he doesn't look as warm as Trout, I would say. You know what I'm saying? Trout is just running with sweat. He looked like he was back that joint running a 100-yard dash in his freaking dressing room. I said I wanted to do this also for older fights. Man, it's a great idea, man. And like literally, the more that I talk and the more that I have to understand that I'm engaged and call this shit round by round, it's like I really am getting a lot of enjoyment out of it. So, I think this is something that I might do a lot more. And, like I said, guys, leave a comment in the comment section if this is something that you would like to see me do more, and I will make it a point to do it, man. Diallo, salute, homie. How you feeling? All right, man. So we got a 3 knockdown rule, not in effect. No standing 8 count, cannot be saved by the bell. Let's go. I didn't get to see what the guys both weighed in at. All right. We about to get to it. You already know Jimmy Lennon Jr. in the middle of the ring, a legend of his own right. Promotions. Let's get it popping. Let's get it popping. Yo, Austin Trout really looks ready. Canelo looks ready. I mean, just looking corner to corner, camera angle to camera angle. I mean, camera panning on both ends of the corner. You can tell that these boys really ready to mix it up. And there's just more on the line than just winning titles. They both probably feel like there's a lot of respect on the line here. Let's get it popping, man. This is what boxing is all about, man. The big stage, man. And how you respond. Okay, so Stanley Christodoulou is one of the judges. Ray Dan Seiko and Oren Schellenberger. Lawrence Cole, referee. Okay. Here we go. The Golden Boy promotion. 12 rounds of action. Oh shit! Okay, Canelo. Ring Magazine on the line. We know what that signifies. That signifies greatness. Greatness. Live from San Antonio. Okay, we in San Antonio, Texas for this one. This is a melting pot for freaking, this is a melting pot for, Latino audience, Latino crowd, heavy Latino audience in the building. I'm sure there's a bunch of people in the building. But we all know in Texas, you're gonna have Latinos is gonna come out in full force. So shout out to them, man. Without them, man, you wouldn't have that type of atmosphere. So I appreciate that, man. I appreciate they take so much time to partake in the sport and put their hard-earned money to come out and watch the sport that we love. Okay, so Canelo was 22 at the time. Guadalajara, Mexico, hometown. 41-0 with 1 draw, 30 KOs. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome one of the young superstars of boxing today. Wow, he looks super young too. The crazy thing, he even looks super young right now, which he is super young. I mean, he turned pro at the age of 15 or 16, I believe. Alvarez. Let's get to it. It don't matter if it's new or old, man. Just watching great fights, controversial fights and everything, man. It's just good to take it all in, man. Look, they pulling the shit out Trout already. Drowning out Jimmy Lennon. Okay, weight 69.5 kg. Austin Trout is 27 at the time. Las Cruces, New Mexico. 26 wins, 14 KOs, no losses. Both gentlemen are undefeated, respectful champions in their own right. It's time to unify. It's time to bring those infinity stones together. Who will come out victorious? I think we already know, but we're going to play it how we play it. Or do we really know? I don't know what type of trunks Austin Trout got on right now. He got some zebra cake shit going on. He got like zebra cakes around the waistline and shit like that. Damn, is that Austin Trout wifey or is that Canelo shorty? I can't tell. If that's Austin Trout wife, she bad as a motherfucker. No disrespect to you, Austin Trout. I mean, you shouldn't take it as disrespect anyway. You got a beautiful wife, if that is your wife. All right, let's see who's going to answer the call. Coaches are now exiting the ropes. Canelo's biting down. He getting ready. Just took a look over at Austin. Austin keeping his eyes on Canelo. He's looking back and he's hopping back and forth from the corner. Both gentlemen making sure they stay warm, stay ready. Adrenaline at an all-time high. Rating, you know what I'm saying? Two warriors ready to do what they do. Okay, since this is on YouTube, we had a little minor interruption. We will be back now. All right, let's go. All right, here we go. Both men meet each other in the middle of the ring. Austin Trout coming out with the right jab. Feint, right jab again. Canelo shifting laterally to the left on him. All right, they're both in the ring. Okay. Austin Trout keeping the stick on him. Two more jabs aimed at the body. All right. Austin still just sticking the jab out there, getting a feel of what's going on. Canelo's just sizing him up, looking for his openings right now. Okay, Canelo just scores with a little jab. Not too much sting on it. Okay, Canelo's faced at the ropes a little bit. Trout still pushing forward. Canelo still shifting laterally, figuring out his opponent. Okay, he tries to shift the jab back. Neither man hit each other. Feinting. Two jabs to the right from Trout. Another jab from Trout, right hand. Trout sends another jab at him, right hand. Nothing's touching right now from either gentleman. Canelo hit with one jab so far. So we got Canelo with one jab so far. Trout's feinting and keeping that stick on him. One thing I noticed about Austin Trout, he is very active with that right hand right now. From the southpaw stance, he is extremely active. Just keeping the stick on him, probing. Still probing. Okay, Canelo is making an attempt, pushing him towards the corner, and it seems like he's about to. Okay, good head movement from Canelo. Dodges 3 jabs upstairs. Canelo scored again with a jab. Ooh, nice body shot from Trout. So we got 2 jabs from Canelo, 1 nice body shot from Trout. Canelo pushing forward. Strong right hand from Canelo. So right hook to the jaw from Canelo. Another right hook. Well, right straight. All right, Trout's throwing out the stick, keeping the jab on him. 2 more jabs. Canelo sends another jab out there, left hand. Trout's just feinting, just making sure he keeps him busy with the stick, man. Austin Trout sends another jab at him with the right hand. Nothing really touching. This is kind of just like a feel around. Canelo got 2 nice right hands off, but Canelo is really active with the right hook right now. He is really trying to land a nice haymaker right hook. It's not connecting. He got 1 off on him, though. Trout with a 1-2. Right hand, left combination, both straights. All right. Canelo missed with the hook. Trout lands with a body shot. So that's a shot for Trout. Trout still pushing with the right hand. Canelo comes with a left hand and a right. They get mixed up on the gloves. Referee gets in between, separates. They're meeting in the middle of the ring again. We got 6 seconds left in the first. Canelo shoots the jab out there with the left. Trout with the right. Break. We're headed to corner. That's the end of the first round. So right now, I would have to score that first round for Canelo, considering that he had 2 significant right hooks and he landed 2 other right straights. Trout only had 2 shots that connected in the first round. So I have to give the first round to Canelo. So I got it 1-0 Canelo. $10-9 round. Sliding counter salute. Tommy Sanchez, what's goody? Can't understand what Eddie Reynoso was saying because unfortunately I don't speak Spanish, but you know, I'm sure he's telling them some good shit, keeping them in the game, keeping them motivated, telling them what to look for, telling them probably watch out for that busy right hand, man. Stay lateral, you know what I'm saying? Keep pressing them. Try to offset his timing a little bit. But we haven't really seen what Trout brings to the table yet as far as speed. Still kind of nuanced considering that it's early. So let's see. Trout comes out again, still probing with the right hand, keeping the stick on him. 2 right jabs. All right. Throws another jab. Nice right hook from Trout, but Canelo meets him with the body shot. All right. Center ring shifting laterally. Both men feinting. Canelo with the lead right hand out right now. Trout with the jab, doubles up on it with the right hand. Trout feinting, sending the jab, shifting left laterally at the corner, left side of the ring. Another right hand from Trout. Nothing's landing right now. Just probing with the jab, feeling each other out. Trout throws the left hand followed by a right hook. Give that one for Trout. Okay, so we got 1 right hook. Ooh, and a left jab from Trout. All right, Trout. Ooh! 1-2 from Canelo. Left, right, uppercut. They're just feeling each other out right now. Center of the ring. Trout's probing with the jab. Steady probing. Trout tried to catch him with the uppercut when he tried to dip out the way of the left. Canelo throws the right uppercut. Misses. Both of them center ring. Trout still throwing that right jab out there. Canelo with the left right hand. Body shot Canelo. Canelo overextends himself a little bit. Trout gets out of the way of the left hand. Trout still keeping that right jab busy, man. Really working that right jab, keeping it busy. Trying to offset timing. Let's go. Left hook, Trout. Canelo comes back with a right. Trout still throwing the right hand out there. Trying to find timing. Canelo's pushing forward now, shifting the shoulders, trying to find his angles. Trout still circling away from the right hand a little bit. Canelo throws the left. He misses though. Left straight. 30 seconds left in the second round. 30 seconds left. Counting down. Not too much action right now, but both men are staying very busy. Had to turn the sound down a little bit. Okay, Canelo grazes with a right hand. Probably about the top of the forehead a little bit. Ooh, Canelo getting low, shifting those shoulders. Trout still throwing that jab out there. All right, there wasn't too much action in that round. I got it about Canelo landing about 4 punches to Trout, so I'm going to go ahead and give that one to Canelo too. So I got it 2-10-9 rounds for Canelo right now. Trout's down 2 rounds on my scorecards. By my estimation, I got Trout down 2 rounds. Canelo landed a very, very nice left hook, got Trout's attention a little bit, but it was more of the wrist though. It wasn't a solid connect. It wasn't really a solid connection from the knuckles. It was he more tapped him with the wrist, but it landed. And that's what you want to do. You want to land. Let me get these spammers up out of here. All right, 3rd round. We got guys sitting with guys in the center of the ring. Trout still busy with that right hand. Throwing the right hand, shifting left. Southpaw stance. 2 right hands, 2 more. Right straights at that. Still jabbing, just jabbing, probing, jabbing, probing at him. Still probing with the right hand. Canelo with a nice high guard. Looks like he's trying to time him right after that jab comes. He's just trying to find perfect timing to shoot that shot off. Ooh, big right hook from Trout. Canelo ain't like that shit too much. Throwing that lead right hand out. It's kind of crazy because Canelo's throwing the lead right hand out, keeping it straight out like he's the taller guy. Trying to find range. Trout comes back, hits him with a jab with the left hand, doesn't connect with the right. All right, Trout's on the back foot a little bit, winging the hook around the glove, right hand. All right, now Trout shifting to the right, landed two big shots. Ooh, 5-punch combination. All 5 of them shits landed on for Trout. So I got Trout landed with 5 fucking shots right there. So a total of 6 shots landed for Trout right now. Significant shots. All right, Canelo's pressing on the front foot. He didn't like that shit too much. So he's definitely trying to press the action because he know he got off on him right there. Canelo's throwing a heavy hook at the body, hit him with a right straight in the chest. So that's a shot for Canelo. Trout still jabbing with the right hand. Canelo throws a right hook, misses. Trout ducks underneath, pivots, gets off the ropes. Now they're back center ring. Canelo's trying to exert, showing head movement. Trout still jabbing at him. Canelo's moving forward. I don't like Canelo seemed pretty square. Canelo just landed with a nice hook to the body, though. But Trout's firing back off. They're both freaking firing at each other right now. This third round is really starting to heat up. Really starting to see the tempo and the pace start to pick up from both guys. We got action. Canelo's throwing the hook, but he's leaving his fucking head out wide open to be touched up. Overextending himself a little bit. All right, back to Trout probing with that right hand again. We got 28 seconds left in the third. I got Trout 6 shots to about Canelo's 3. Trout's just throwing that right hand, keeping it on him, and Canelo just seems like he's just trying to land a bunch of power shots right now. Like stopping power shots. Okay, Canelo lands a body shot and a right hand. Canelo throws another left, misses. All right, Trout's feinting, pressing the action a little bit. Trout lands 2 shots right at the end of the round. So I got it about 8 shots to about 5 of Canelo. So I got to get that round to Trout. Press the action, significant shots, nice combinations, stayed busy. You could definitely tell that he got Canelo's attention that round, and that is Austin Trout's wife, and she is bad as a motherfucker. Nah, no footage, not tonight. All right, so I got it. So it's 2-1 Canelo up. I got Canelo up by a round. All right, they both center ring, gentlemen, 4th round. 2 minutes and 40 on the clock. Canelo's trying to press the action, pushing Trout towards the ropes. Trout lands with a big right hand. Canelo comes back, tries to stab him at the body. Trout shifting laterally to the left. Probes with the right. Still feinting and probing. One thing that I like Trout's doing that he is keeping that right hand busy and he is staying lateral so he doesn't get stationary and get caught with some real spicy shit. The center ring again. Canelo doubles up on the left hand. Canelo's on the tip balls of his feet. He's really working. He's shifting laterally now. You're seeing the footwork from Canelo. He's showing something a little different. He's picking up his tempo a little bit. He's really looking for something heavy to hurt him from what it seems like. Trout throws a shot at the body. Canelo throws a right hand, misses. Trout throws a freaking right hand and misses. Canelo throws a body shot, misses. Trout gets out. Trout answers with a body shot. First significant shot of the round. Trout, 2 right jabs. Trout probing with the right hand. Canelo's got him on the back foot a little bit, but then Trout comes with a strong left hand. Shifting lateral, shifting lateral. All right, Canelo's pushing Trout towards the rope. Trout throws a left hand, catches him. Trout with another 1-2, catches him. Canelo throws an uppercut, grazes the glove. Almost took his fucking head off, though. Canelo shifting shoulders. Trout's throwing that jab out there, steady probing, staying busy. But Canelo's just stalking, man. Like, he is staying on that front foot. He's trying to stalk him. He's trying to push him back. He's trying to land heavy hooks to the body. It's just not there right now. Trout with another left jab. A lot of feinting going on, but not too much shit is landing. It's just a lot of feinting, a lot of probing. Trout just tried to get off with a three-punch combination. All right. Trout throws to the body. Canelo comes back with a right hand. Nothing really lands. Canelo throws a left up top, right hand to the body. Ooh! Big left hand from Canelo up top. And then Trout follows with a big right hand. That's the Trout round. So now it's 2-2. 2-2. Man, look, it seems like they don't have each other's timing under control. And it seems like when both gentlemen want to let go, when both gentlemen want to find their shots, it seems like their timing, it seems like both of them are engaging in combination. When one guy decides that he's going to go off, the other guy tries to counter it to keep the to try to tip the scales and keep them even. But there's not a lot of shots really landing here. Canelo landed that big left hand. It was a very significant shot, but through the course of that round, Trout had more of the significant shots, more clear and concise shots throughout that round. So I had to give it to Trout that round. But for the action for both of these gentlemen, none are waving. Both are pushing. They're staying their ground in the middle of the ring, staying lateral, working. Canelo's trying to push him back. Trout's trying to push him back. It's just a war of wills and attrition right now. Trout's probing with the right hand. We're in round 5. Canelo shifting shoulders. Trout lands with a light jab to the jaw. Canelo's trying to stalk on the front foot, shifting shoulders, shifting. Nothing's landing. Trout probing with the right hand. Trout with a right and the left. Left shot landed to the body. So I got one shot for Trout, one for Canelo. Canelo comes with a left to the body, big right hook upstairs, nothing lands. 2 minutes in the round. Canelo's got Trout in the corner. Trout slides out to the right. Trout throws 2 right hands. Canelo's on a stalking mission, like a creeper. Canelo's acting like a real creeper right now, stalking like shit. You can tell Trout's getting more confident as the round goes on, lands 2 big jabs up top, tries to follow up with the right hand, misses. Canelo did not like that shit at all. Canelo is shifting his shoulders, got Trout in the rope. Trout tries to pivot out. Canelo throws a right hook, hit Trout on the gloves. Trout escapes. Canelo throws the right hand, got Trout in the same position as he did before, towards the corner, but Trout looks comfortable. He's still probing with that right, throws a right hook upstairs, misses. Nobody really getting their food right now. The cafeteria is wide open, but ain't nobody getting their food right now. Trout got off a couple more shots in the Canelo right now. Canelo throws a left hand, he catches Trout, but Trout shifts out the way, move, they back center ring. Trout with a beautiful 1-2 upstairs. That's 2 more for Trout. Center ring. Trout with that jab, stutter stepping, moving inside with the feint. Okay, they locked up. Let's see what the referee's going to do. He's asking him to fight, get outside of it. Okay, now they back center ring. He broke it up. Canelo with the high guard, kind of a little too loose for me right now. Trout's just finding his way, working through the guard, hit him with 1 shot. Trout is really throwing some combinations right now. Canelo just stunned it on him real quick, slid out the way, showed him that little shoulder roll. Okay. Canelo rolling at the shoulders. Trout just landed a little sharp jab at the body. Trout is just staying busy. Another shot at the body. That's 2 significant shots landed to the body on Trout. Trout's got his hands down by his waist right now, styling, giving him the shimmy right now, showing him what time it is. That is the end of the 5th round, ladies and gentlemen. And I have to give that round to Trout. He was the busier fighter. He put more combinations together. He's he's biting down a little bit more. Canelo, it's not like Canelo is damaged or anything like that. It's just his punches are landing and Canelo's aren't. And you could see in that round that there was a little frustration on Canelo's face for the fact that he wasn't landing a majority of the punches. And Trout was just really making it work. Trout had a really beautiful double right hand combination, a right hook, double right hook coming off the ropes, pivoted out the way, touching him up with the jab. It was just a lot of beautiful work from Trout by keeping steady combinations going. And Canelo, he shifted out of the way at 3, got caught with one jab, and then slid on him. So really, Trout just had a lot. Trout just had a lot of offensive output on that round. And, he just won that round, man. So now we're going into round 6. All right, round 6. The guys are back. Guys back center of the ring. Trout stuttering. Canelo just catches him with a jab. Hello. Trout throws a shot at the body. Canelo throws a big right hook, but he misses. Canelo comes back with a left hand, right hand combination. Canelo's out. He's trying to style on him. Both of them are center ring. Both of them going for it. Okay, but these guys are missing. They're working like master tacticians right now. Both of them are at the peak of their game. Whatever training regimens they had, it seemed to work out because both of these guys know each other very well. They both met on a connection right there. Ooh, Canelo with a big uppercut while Trout was close to the ropes, but he didn't land. Trout ties him up. Referee breaks him up. They're back center ring. Canelo hit with a light jab. Trout throws a straight. Canelo lands with an uppercut. Trout lands with a straight right hand. Trout lands with 2 shots to the body and a right hook. That was damn. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to just leave it at 3 because I couldn't really tell the 4th hit. Okay, Trout just lands with another jab. Ooh. Trout throws a left hook uppercut. Probing with the jab. Nice body shot from Trout. 1-2 upstairs by Trout. Canelo ties up. Can you believe that? 6th round. 1 minute and 10 to go. Trout with a body shot. Left hand. 2 rights upstairs from Trout. Don't land. Just touching gloves. Staying busy. Body shot by Trout with the left hand. Canelo's up against the rope. He just caught a body shot. 2 straight left hands. And he just caught another body shot. 2 more right hands. Trout is landing combinations, got Canelo up against the ropes, and Canelo is really getting touched right now. He's really getting outclassed this round, and the shoulder roll technique that Canelo's trying to use really isn't working. And it doesn't look good from the judge's eye. It doesn't look good from my eye, because from what I see, he is getting touched up with every jab that Trout is presenting to him right now. I don't know if it's the work rate that's surprising him or what, but Canelo just landed a huge right hand. Trout throws a devastating right shot to the body. Canelo's back up against the ropes. I don't know what Canelo's doing right now. I don't know if he's finding his, I don't know if he feels more comfortable right there or what, or trying to take the sting. Ooh, big left hand from Canelo. Big left uppercut. My God, that was a hell of a round. I got to get that shit to Trout, man. No bullshit. I'm just calling it how I see it. Straight down the middle. Straight down the middle. Canelo landed with a big right hand. Canelo had a beautiful uppercut and a body shot, but Trout just had him up against the ropes at bay. And it was a bigger work rate. The combinations just landed more. He was just a busier fighter. And Canelo he's taking too much time off. And when you're looking at the fight from the angle I'm sitting, you're just seeing him get hit. And I'm literally counting the punches. Like I'm putting a dot down for every punch on each side. So it is what it is, man. 7th round. Big right hand drops Trout. 7th round. Big right hand drops Trout. Go ahead and put an 8 right there for you, sir. All right, he's surviving, he's moving, he come back, he's still fighting though. Still fighting, regardless of whatever he's doing. Canelo is winning this round, but Trout is still catching him. He's staying busy. It must have been a flash knockdown because he's still working. Still working. Nice body shot. Trout comes back with a hook, catches him, then comes upstairs and catches him. Right hand, nips the chin, throws a right straight. Then Canelo catches him with 3 devastating shots. Uppercut, right hand, left hand. Trout with a nice little jab to the body. Canelo with a freaking jab up top. Right hand. Trout with a left jab. Trout throws a right to the body. Connects. Trout's getting busier after the knockdown. Canelo catches him with a right straight. They're both still center ring, and they're banging right now. Ooh, Trout just got caught with 2 big uppercuts, got the stanky legs again. Big right hand, blood's pouring out of his mouth by Canelo. Not blood's pouring out of Trout's mouth, of course. Canelo throws another big right straight. He's got Trout reeling a little bit. You can tell the effect is starting to take its toll, but Trout still continues to fight through the pain. Trout throws a big left hook, lands. Canelo, big right straight. Trout throws the right hand out, doesn't land anything. Still probing with the right hand. Canelo's coming with the right hook. Trout with the right uppercut, left straight. The left straight lands. Center ring. Right hand, left hand combination. Right high, left low. The left low lands nice. Trout throwing the jab low, but you can tell he's visibly hurt. He's still wobbled. He's still trying to get his bearings back. There were a lot of big hands landed. Trout just landed a jab. He's real wobbly, trying to, show his head movement. Body shot got him reeling a little bit. Trout's he's hanging on, but the surprising thing is Trout is fighting marvelously through after the knockout. I mean, he's landed a bunch of significant shots, even after the knockdown. Impressive, I must say. They are fighting. 7th round. These gentlemen are fighting, ladies and gentlemen. They are fighting. Wow. Ooh, Trout had Canelo in the corner. That is the end of that round. Beautiful work from both gentlemen. Nice knockdown for Canelo in the earlier portion of the round. Caught Trout sleeping. I would have to say that is a 10-8 round for Canelo. No kizzy. You got to give it to him. You got to give it to him. And I mean, shout out to Austin Trout for being able to find ways to still find his spots after the fact. Because that right straight that he caught him with, man, it just caught him right on the button on the chin, man. And it just gave him the fucking stanky leg. I wouldn't say Canelo landed the biggest shots in the 6th round at all. That's inaccurate to me. I'd say he got a couple of significant shots off, but I would say that Trout had the better of the work. Canelo was consistently up against the rounds. He was highly inactive. He tried to pick his spots at a very poor and opportune time. Trout just had a much higher work rate. Man, the crowd is into it. I really can't tell because I got the TV turned down, but we are in round 8, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. Trout with a right hand that lands. Upstairs. Canelo shifting his angles in the corner of the ring. Very poised, very confident, seeing things as they come. Trout shoots the left hand to the body. Canelo's like, not today. No petty. Canelo throws a right straight. Trout steps out the way. Still vigilant coming forward. Canelo shoots an uppercut from the right hand. Kind of weird way to shoot it, though. Misses, though. Throws a 1-2, misses. Trout dips underneath. Trout throwing jabs. He's missing. Canelo throws a right hand. Lands lightly. Canelo with a left jab that lands. So I got 2 shots landed by Canelo. Canelo throws a right hand. Misses. Trout still pressing forward. Canelo throws a left jab. Shifting laterally left. Trout's trying to cut him off. Trout gets caught to the body again. So I got Canelo up 3 shots to Trout's none. Canelo throws a big right hook. Crowd's trying to go crazy about it, but nothing lands. That's why I don't do fights with the sound up. Okay, Trout's got him up against the rope. Ain't landing nothing. He just landed a body shot though. Okay, Trout with the 1-2. Right jab, lightly touched. Another right jab to the jaw touches. Canelo just Canelo just shifting shoulders. He's working. I guess Canelo feels comfortable on the ropes right now. For me, that's just not something I'm really feeling. Like I feel like you putting yourself in a position to, just get points scored on you. 47 seconds left in the eighth. Trout throws two right hands, probing. He's got him up against the ropes again. Canelo's probably looking for that sneaky shot to put him down. Okay, Canelo shifts laterally, gets out of the way, comes back, tries to hit him with a right straight. Trout throws it up. Jabbing. Like, this round is a hard round to fucking score, man. This is a swing round. The eighth round is super swing like right now. I just don't fucking know, dude. Trout throws a 1-2. Canelo just shifts left, gets out the way. Like that, I don't know. Like, how did y'all see that eighth? I don't know how to call that eighth round because nobody really landed anything. And I mean, like, I don't know, dude. That was a hard round to judge. I mean, do I base it off of Trout's activity, the couple of shots that he landed, or do I base it off of, the couple of minimal shots that Canelo landed and his ability to get out the way of the shots and work lateral? I just don't know. Both men didn't really do anything, and I swear I felt like that work rate was even on that eighth round. That eighth round is really swing for me. I just don't know how to fucking score that round right now. It's hard for me. But Trout was catching them with some hot shit up against the ropes, though. If it came down to who landed more punches, clearly Trout landed more punches. That rope shit is what's getting Canelo in trouble. Man, I gotta get, man, look. Fuck. He landed more shots, man. All right, ninth round, guys. Canelo comes with the left hook. Shot a little low. Them boys dapped it up. Get back to work. All's fair. Respect. They both try to fire off a jab at each other. Canelo fires off a right hook. Two right hooks at that. Ooh. Double uppercut from Canelo. Left straight from Canelo. But Trout's firing back at the same time. Good left hand from Trout. Another good left hand from Trout. Trout sticking that jab out there. Canelo throws a right hand at the body. Seems like it landed in mid. Trout lands with a soft right upstairs. Probing with the jab. Just probing. Canelo shifting the shoulders. Both of the men are working on an even playing field right now. Both of them are staying busy. Both of them are keeping their punch output right now. Both of them are staying. Nobody's really staying stationary. And Canelo's firing some shit off right now to try to take your fucking head off. One from Canelo. Trout, straight right hand. Lands two. Canelo lands a straight right hand. Trout lands a straight fucking left hand. Canelo jabs. Trout jabs. Trout jabs again with the right. They touching glove. Palm. Ooh, big uppercut right hand from Trout. Left hook from Trout. Big body shot around the freaking guard from Trout. Canelo with two left jabs upstairs. Trout with a right straight left hand. Canelo wings off two shots. Left downstairs, right hook up. Palm with the right. Trout's palm with the right, excuse me. Canelo comes with a very nice straight right hand. Trout with combinations landing. Nice shot at the body from Trout in that combination sequence. Left hand from Trout lands. Canelo doing some skip to my loose shit, but I really don't know what that shit mean right now because you really getting your head tapped. All that shoulder shifting shit don't mean nothing when you getting the shit punched out of you. 18 seconds left. Trout probing with the right hand. Nobody hitting. He's just shifting. Canelo just shifting the shoulders and shit, but he ain't throwing no fucking punches. Just threw a right hand. The fuck? Two rights, left. I ain't like, man, what the fuck? I mean, I'm cool with niggas styling and all of that. I'm cool with all of the styling and all of that. You know, you can style, you can shift your shoulders and all of that shit. But bro, for me, it seems like it's a form of escapism for Canelo with the crowd cadence in a sense, to where it tries to get the crowd on the side to make him look like it's more than what he's really doing. Trout is landing big on you all day and put combination. Now but he's landing more than C, bro. So what I'm witnessing here is I'm seeing Trout win rounds and I'm watching you showboat. Yeah, the two straight right hands, the one where he came up, he popped in. But the second one, I'm not too, the first one I wasn't too sure of, but the second one I know he popped. But referring to all of the fucking, like, you see what I'm talking about, right, Jay? Like all of the switching the shoulders and shit. I'm looking at the high volume combinations he's landing on you while you doing all of this shifting shoulders and trying to play it off, and you getting your ass beat on. I ain't got you winning that round, period. I'm sorry. You landed some big shots, yes, but you didn't win the round and he outworked you. Now Canelo's coming out with two jabs, throws a left hook, right hand. Now Trout just punched back on him. Shifting out the way of the ropes. Trout stalking him down. Canelo was working lateral. Trout with a right hand that lands. Canelo throws a hook. Trout answers right back. Trout just landed with a big shot, and Canelo just landed with a big shot. 10th round. Trout throws an uppercut, but comes back, connects with the right hand. Body shot. Right hand. That was just 3 punches landed. Canelo shifts off the ropes, throws the left hand back. Trout just landed with a nice jab again. And then doubles up on the jab upstairs and then hits him in the body. 10th round. Trout is going ham right now. Canelo's just probing out the jab. Trout's really pushing the work. Canelo lands the uppercut while he escapes. But Trout just tees off. 2 shots. Ooh! Big uppercut from Canelo. That one would have got real dirty, Slim. He could have almost got his head knocked off of that one. You see he tying up right now. He just got his head rocked, right or wrong. Canelo just rocked his ass, didn't he? Trout coming back with the jab, but you know this shit is poetry in slow motion right now because his motherfucking ears and his head is ringing right now because he just got caught with a monster. Center ring, Trout misses with the right hook, right straight right hand. All right, Trout stepping back, throwing the jab. Canelo stalking him. Canelo throws an uppercut, misses. Canelo lands with the right. Canelo with another left hand, right jab to the body. Left hook by Canelo and another left hook by Canelo. Trout fainting, but he's still coming forward though. One thing I can say about Trout is, even with what he hitting him with, he never stopped punching. Straight right hand land, followed by the left. Or was a straight left hand right. 2 right jabs, don't hit nothing but 3 big punches landed by fucking Trout in that 5-punch sequence. 14 seconds left. Big left hand by Trout, followed by another left hook that comes around the glove but doesn't touch. That was a really good round. Both men got really good, significant work. The only thing that I could fucking say about that 10th round right there is Canelo landed a huge fucking uppercut while they were towards the ropes when Trout was trying to walk him down and land his punches. And I mean, he got thumped with that shot. But Trout came back with some nice punches too. But Canelo just caught him with a nasty uppercut. That uppercut, I'll get that round to Canelo. All right, here it is, round 11. We got 2 rounds to go. Guys are center ring. Canelo shoots out the left jab, just probing with his left. Still probing the left, keeping the left hand busy. Trout probing with the right, keeping the right hand busy. Both of them boys looking for their looks. Let's see who's going to land first with something heavy and thudding. Who's going to control the action? Both of them ain't doing shit in the center of the ring right now. Trout dips out the way, still got some legs up underneath of him. Ooh, Canelo connects. Right hook from Canelo doesn't hit shit though. Left shot to the body by Trout. Tries to follow up with another one too, but he misses. Trout probing with the left hand and tries to come with the sneaky left. Trout still probing with the left. Probing with the right. I'm sorry. Ooh. Okay, Trout. And another body shot. Right hook from Trout. Canelo comes back with the right upstairs, left to the body, or left upstairs, right to the body. Shit getting so fast. Canelo throws a right hook. Trout shifting laterally. Back to the center of the ring. Trout dips up out of the way of that shot. Trout still keeping that stick on him. Just probing with the right hand. Trout's got him up against the ropes, probing with the right hand. Canelo's back up against the ropes again. Comes with a right hook off the ropes. Tries to go towards the body. Trout showing that he got a little shoulder roll with him too. Comes back with a 3-point combination. 1 minute and 5 left in the round. Canelo's towards the rope, shifting laterally, getting outside of the corner, making sure that he stays on the ball of his feet, moving. Comes with a nice left hand, then pivots and gets out of the way. That was a nice move from Canelo. Canelo hits him with a soft left hand to the jaw. Soft right. Left hand. Right hook from Canelo. Alvarez is showing his ability to box right now. 2 shot. Ooh, shit. Big shots from Trout. Big body shot from Canelo. Significant shot again from Canelo. Drives him back. Canelo lands a freaking right hook. Trout lands a freaking right hook. Trout lands a big right hook. Canelo lands a big right hook. Trout hits him with a big jab in the jaw. Second one. Third one. Throws a hook. Misses. Then goes at the body. I don't like that back camera angle like that. When you see it from the when you see how they put the camera behind Canelo's body when he up against the rope, it takes away from the ability from the viewers to be able to view what is connecting properly, especially when somebody is putting out a high work rate and he's throwing high output jabs, high output punch sequences. You know what I'm saying? Y'all get what I'm saying? Like, you see how the camera angle for that last 25 seconds of that 11 was up against Canelo's back, and Trout's putting up all of this work, and the work is getting smothered by what's going on. I'm just saying, man. You can't, for a viewer, you're not really going to get to see anything that's going on to be able to get an accurate depiction of what's happening right there. Canelo's landing big single shots, but Trout is just landing a lot of goddamn shots, a lot of combination output. And once again, you laying weight on the ropes consistently, and I see that time and time again. It makes me believe. And then when I see the combination output, I'm like, okay, one punch and escaping just ain't doing it for me. Probe him with the jab left hand. Canelo comes with the right. We got Trout on the front foot, lands a right hook. Canelo's at the ropes right now. Trout stalking, walking him down. Trout lands with a left jab, but misses with another left jab. Misses with a right jab. But Trout comes back with a left hook, throws big body shots, lands a few nice shots right there. Nice combination sequence. Oh, 3 left hook, 4. Canelo throws a right hook, but he misses. Trout is going for it. 1 minute and 57 seconds left, and Trout is really letting the combinations fly. Canelo just found a little success with 2 shots at the body right there, with a minute and 48 seconds left. But Trout has a really high work rate right now, and I mean, like, come on, man. Come on, man. Trout is working. Left jab. Canelo lands a jab. Trout shoots out the right hand. Trout shoots with the body shot, but it lands. Canelo eyeing him down. He throws a left straight. Don't see nothing connect. Trout throwing out the right hand, lands with the left. Right upstairs, left body. But the right upstairs didn't hit shit from Trout. Trout goes to the body again, but comes upstairs, doubling up with the right hand. Trout doubles up with the double jab, comes with the left. Nicking shit, not really doing much with those shots right there. We got a minute left in the 12th round. Trout's walking him down, hits him with a left jab to the face, throws a right hook out there. Canelo's trying to find something, but he just got caught with a left hook, right hook combination when he was trying to escape. Boxing God salute. What's goody, family? Canelo fucking hits him with the left hand and escapes like a smooth criminal. But then Trout meets him again with 2 jabs to the face from the right hand, throws the left out there. Canelo throws the 1-2, throws the right hand again. Canelo throws the big uppercut at the body, throws the right straight, he hits. Trout's, big left hand from Canelo with 20 seconds left. Canelo throws a 1-2, 1-2-1. There goes Canelo again, fading to the ropes, gets caught with a hook. Trout throws a double hook out there. That's the end of the round. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me check my scorecard. Let me check my scorecards. Let me check it out. Let's see here. Two, two, 9, 9, 10, 10, 10, 10, 8, 10, 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold on, let me pause this because I want to hear what they're gonna read off on the scorecards, and I'm gonna tell them, and then I'm gonna say what I got on my scorecards. But regardless, that shit was a good fight. And the way people try to carry this fight and act like Laura got outclassed and got his ass beat, you got to be fucking Ray Charles blind if you think Austin Trout got his ass beat in this fight and you're giving Canelo leverage like Canelo won this fight. I don't see how anybody could see that. Even with the knockdown, I don't see how anybody can see it. But I'm going to let my scorecard, as we revisit it again, speak for itself. it doesn't really matter what I say or I think. We're basing it off the facts, realistically taking it in shot by shot, what we're seeing, who's pressing the action, who's stepping off the gas, significant shots, et cetera. Shots, combinations, work rate. Who look? One thing I could say about Austin Trout through the entirety of this fight, he never wavered. Even when he got rocked, he didn't waver. He look, you can even make a case that Austin Trout, after he got rocked and put on the ground in the earlier round, he came back and was putting big hands on his ass to try to balance it out. But it was an amazing fight, highly competitive. But where people are like, yeah, right, Canelo took that fight, I just don't see it. I don't know how you guys see it watching it, but I just don't see it like that. And I've watched this thing enough. All right. Mm-hmm. Second, I'm scoring, so that's the reason why I'm quiet right now. Just give me 1 minute. Sorry if the silence is killing anybody, but y'all know how this stuff go. My dumb ass used a little piece of paper I had. Uh, uh, 10, 9. So I got, all right. So I got 10. 1, 2, 3. God damn, man. All right. Let's see what the judges got. We all know what this is going to be, but 118, 109. See what I'm saying? Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. And it's like, yo, you see what they try to do with Canelo. They try to give him the camera angles so where you can't watch him get punched on. They try to shift the angles in a position where it's like another guy isn't putting out a high work rate or whatever. But honestly, 9, 18, 28, 38, 48, 58. Nine, 18, 28, 38, 48, 58, 58, 66, 76, 86, 96, 108, 108.
How happy they were after round 5 and 6. Hey, it is tough to watch them one fight. I don't like any other sport. The goal is water.
Okay. 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 Shit. 18, 28, 38, 48, 58.
Really entertaining.
66, 76, 86, 96, 1799, 100. Because I got that one round. See, right now, I got that one round that, you know what I'm saying, I'm split on. And I'm kind of leaning it towards Nelo's way. So that's the only thing getting in the way of the way I'm thinking right now. But yeah, I got it. I got it. 115 Austin Trout. I got it. 115, 116 Austin Trout. How y'all got it? Gotti, who'd you score for? 116, 112, 116, 111? That's how you saw it? Who'd you score for? Even with the knockdown, I still got Trout winning the fight. It's just the mathematics. Like, I still got Trout winning the fight, even with the knockdown. So I got, like, my scorecard coming out about 115. 115 Trout, man. And I gave the swing round to Canelo. I just couldn't see it, bro. I just thought that even with the 10-8 round, hold on. Even with the 10-8 round, I got 115 for Trout. So now we go to Canelo. Let me just do this shit with my, stop doing this shit with my damn head. Because I gave the first round to Trout. I gave the second round to Trout. It was still a bigger than 1 or 2 points win for Trout if we're in reality. Yeah, if it was in reality, man, like, I got Trout winning by more than just a point, but it's just crazy to me because no matter how I saw it, like, Trout, if like the way we go through it through the rounds, if you look at most of the rounds, and most of the rounds that I was scoring for Canelo was, okay, so the first round I gave Canelo the first round, clearly. I gave Canelo the second round, clearly. The third round I gave to Trout. The fourth round I gave to Trout. The fifth round I gave to Trout. The sixth round I gave to Trout. I gave Canelo, the 10-8 for the following round. Then the round after that, I gave it to Trout. There was that swing round in there. I just gave it to fucking Canelo because I was so confused on it because the camera angle was fucking me up. I really couldn't tell what was hitting. And then pretty much beyond that, I had Trout with the higher work rate, landing more than significant shots, had Canelo doing all of this little wiggle, this little razzle-dazzle shit. I just felt like the combination output, there were a bunch of shots that weren't hitting, but he had such a high output that shit was hitting at the same time as well. So I honestly felt like Trout really had just the high, first of all, Trout had the higher output. Trout kept him on the front foot for the majority of the fight. Canelo was on the back foot for more of the majority of the fight. He laid and waited on the ropes. That was a bad sign for me, especially when your combination output wasn't there and you were looking more to roll and hit. But really there was really no backfire from Canelo on that aspect. So for me, that's just where it hurt him. Like I felt like the inactivity, the consistency, leaning on the ropes, and he fired off some big shots. There were times to where, you know what I'm saying, Trout took some big shots. Let's not get it twisted. Trout took some very big shots, but the thing about Trout taking the big shots, Trout didn't buckle from the big shots. Trout continued to come forward and press the action, and it seemed like even when he had hurt or even a little compromise, Trout still managed to he willed his way through it. So it was just like Canelo put himself in a position of, okay, yeah, he got the knockdown, you busted his mouth wide open, but at the end of the day, it was just like the output and the cleaner punches all fell in the realm of Austin Trout. Now, would you say Canelo had a lot of flush, clean shots in there? He absolutely did, but they were single punches. There were not a lot of it wasn't a lot of combination punches, but I'm watching a guy come on and he's punching you with a bunch of combinations. It's like, come on, bro. It's like, man, you fell in that. Like, I just, even though we know on paper, well, in the history books, Canelo got the win, just going back and revisiting the whole purpose of this was to get a decent understanding of the way people perceive fights and the way you go out and watch fights and the way the crowd cadence is, like paying attention. And then even going again, I got to see something differently that I didn't get to pay attention to, that I saw was going on. Motherfuckers shift camera angles in a position to where you can't see the punches. Why is it that there's 8 million cameras out there, but you're only taking time to get the shot out of Canelo's back when there are heavy combination and barrages of punches been going on? Wouldn't you, if you're visualizing and you're having viewership of a fight that's going on, don't you want to get a side angle of a lot of the punches that were hitting? Like, just try to outpunch him. He outpunched him. He outworked him. Canelo sat in the pocket, laid and waited. He just outmoved every situation he was getting hit. Now, there's this thing to where we call the okie dokie, where niggas try to sit there and do all of this shucking and jiving and shit when they know they in trouble or whatever. Now, we got to understand, that crowd was all pro Canelo. So all of that little fake ass razzle dazzle he was doing, if that shit was on, let's be honest here, if that shit was on the other side of the spectrum, he wouldn't have got no love for that shit. But when Canelo did it, all of a sudden, oh my God, he's out there showing his ass, you know what I'm saying? He getting this bolo action, then he shifted and moved. Nah, man, he was getting punched. He was getting punched. Like, exactly. I had it 115, 113. So for me, it's just like Trout edged it by 2 rounds. Even with the knockdown, I still had Trout edging it by 2 rounds. No matter how I slice it, I can't see it any other way. So I would have to. So in my memory bank, and in watching this fight, and don't get it twisted. I'm enjoying having this conversation. I'm glad we did this together because for real, this is something I probably want to do a lot more of. More controversial fights in the future. Boxing is always going to have its controversy. It's always going to have its thing where people believe this and we see this. There's going to be situation in swing rounds where like Electro Jed might see things one way and I see things one way. And that's cool. And that draws differently in our memory bank. But one thing we can say about this fight, there is no way anybody could see this shit as a wash. Honestly, if you wanted to go ahead and mark, I would have felt more comfortable with a draw. But you see how they do these astronomical scores where they just giving these motherfuckers two, man. They just giving them two. Like, and I'm starting to see the tactics of boxing where people are trying to like, we're your marquee. I don't care any fighter. It doesn't, and this isn't geared, or this isn't specifically geared at Canelo. This is just geared at the practice of boxing. The camera angles, putting cameras up close on people's back. This, you know what I'm saying, trying to hide punches and shit of that nature, because regardless if you're hiding angles or not, you might have hit it on the one round where I didn't see it, but all of them other rounds, oh yeah, you were getting punched. You can see, you gotta watch the reaction. Like, he just, look, you can try to fake it if you can try to fake it all you want. There ain't no hiding the fact that you getting punched up. I don't care. I don't know. Look, at the end of the day, if that's what Trout said, he crazy for saying that shit. Austin Trout might be a humble dude too, because either way, you can't erase what was. But for me, I didn't have him winning that fight. If anything, I would be happy if you would have, even if they would have set a draw, I would have been more good with that. But as I'm watching that fight, bro, can't nobody tell me that Canelo won that fight. He didn't win that fight, bro. He did not win that fight. I don't care. I don't care if you tell me Austin Trout sat in there because maybe he got a knockdown and he might have felt some way because of that. I don't care what the whole world is trying to say. For me, going back and judging it, sound state of mind, punch by punch, round by round, I don't see Canelo winning that fight. But however it swings, I'm cool with it. It's not that I have a problem with it. It's just the point that I'm trying to make, that when we speak of a bout in a specific manner and we try to downplay an individual and his accomplishments round by round in the ring, we have to understand that the stretch that people try to put on it, or the extra stink that people try to put on a Silver Surfer Lugia, isn't necessarily what people believe it to be. And for me, I didn't have him winning that fight. So he's like, I totally get what you're saying, because when I was watching the Berlanga fight, I had Berlanga losing, and I like Berlanga, but got pissed when they gave him the fight. You know, so it's just one of those controversial things to where it's just like, at the end of the day, it's like, bro, I'm not trying to rewrite history here. I'm just trying to, because, you know, I have to have, for me, it's like I have to have these conversations and these arguments, so to say, not even necessarily arguments, or these debates with people 24/7. And I get in situations where people might laugh or they might get their little hysterical points off. They're like, yeah, fucking right. How could you even see that like this or see that like that? But then if, you know, you go back and you watch it with your peers and then you judge it or whatever, even Ray Charles could see that fight was way more competitive than people try to lay their hat on and just try to make that shit a landslide. It wasn't no landslide victory. The only thing that stood out, now let's be serious here. Take that knockdown away. What do you really say about that fight then? When you take that knockdown away, what would the conversation be about that fight then? I know it didn't happen, and nor does it matter, because I definitely scored a 10-8 round, and I scored the rounds where I felt as though he won. The ones that I was indecisive, I definitely communicated with y'all round by round. Everybody could see it. I'm not a biased individual. I'm not trying to give him more than what he's getting, and I'm not trying to give Canelo less than what he's receiving, than what he's putting off. It's just one of those things to where, okay, we all have eyes, and when we're looking at something, we're all seeing things a certain way. And this goes down to the conversation I was having on the live too. When we speak on judges and what judges see, this could be perceived as like, okay, Electro Jed's right there with me. He's judging it. I'm judging it. Myron's judging it. We're all judging it. So we're seeing things. Some people are seeing things like, okay, well, he don't feel as though he's landing. Me and Myron are looking at it like, okay, well, I see this landing, I see that landing, or whatever. So okay, so then what else comes into play when it comes to judging the fight? There are different perspectives and things that you take in when you're looking at a fight. For me, I'm looking at the person that is pressing the attack. I'm looking at the person with the high output. I'm looking at the person that isn't taking rounds off, the person that isn't sitting on the ropes, trying to use some little falsified shoulder roll and stuff like that. And you're one punching your way out of a situation and gaining space. But within that space, what are you doing with that opportune time? So for me, it's about pressing action. It was about work rate. It was about combinations and punches and bunches that decided for me to swing more rounds in Trout's way than the one or two significant shots. Because if we're on the streets, okay, and streets have nothing to do with this, but say you're fighting with a guy and you end up getting in a fist fight, right? And you and your friends are watching or whatever. Now, if he hits you with one solid punch, okay, he hit you with one great punch, and it might have wobbled you, but you just rocked that motherfucker with 30, 40 freaking right and left hands just coming rapid fire, whatever. But he hit you with one punch and it takes your bearing. But if you ain't getting knocked out, it don't mean shit. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's like you take in consideration significant power shots, but it's like how much the significant power shots like overplay somebody who probably just punched you 15, 20 times, land shots at the body, downstairs, upstairs, and then continuously press the attack. So for my thing is, it's solely based on, like, we all have different perspectives. And when it comes down to judges, it's just like, maybe even our critique with judges, sometimes they get a little outlandish, but then there's one or two where it's just like, okay, well, it makes sense. I can see why that person would see that. But we all see things differently, basically, and we're all scoring things differently. So I understand where sometimes, there's going to be confusion coming into play. We're judging, where everybody's scorecards are going to see different things or whatever. But my thing is the whole point to where it doesn't get so far separated to where we're just now getting disconnected from reality. So it's just like, based on all of the conversations I have to have, it's just like I feel like they get grounded when we take the time out, take the sound away from the situation, take all of the cadence, all of the shit that other people see, and just break it down and narrow it down just to the science, the fight. What do you see? What do you don't see? Take all of the sound, everything, dismiss it, because believe it or not, even if you watch the Lara match, there are people who felt as though Canelo won the Lara fight. And that shit, there is no way physically possible that Canelo won that fight. But the perception changed based off of the cadence of the crowd. So for me, it's just like I dismiss all of that shit and I just try to break it down to the fundamentals of what the fight really are and what we're getting from it. And all in all, it was a great fight. I really enjoyed it. Both men went out there. They did what they had to do. Canelo's power probably saved him in a situation where really, like, if he probably didn't get that knockdown, man, he would have probably been in way worse shape than what he really was. So, it was a good fight. I didn't see, hell no, Silver Surfer Lugia. Fuck no, he was not missing. Like, what were y'all watching? That's what I'm saying. But respectfully so, that's what you saw. I didn't see that shit at all. At all. I got Trout winning that shit 115. Period. Even with the knockdown. And Trout, and then a lot of people are being like, how can you not count all the significant shots that Trout caught Canelo with too? And then it wasn't just one significant shot, it was several head snappers, several heavy body shots, several Canelo tried to use his shoulders and his chin and roll away from, and he got tagged with. But we all have our scorecards and we all have what we believe. And I don't want to take that away from you. And I'm sure nor you guys trying to take it from me, because at the end of the day, history remains what it is. But nobody can tell me that this fight was a wash. Nobody can tell me with a straight face that Canelo just walked away with this victory. And that was just the whole purpose for me, to try to lend some extra eyes to that, so people can understand that, it wasn't really that. I remember Jones versus Tarver 1. It was controversial. Also, De La Hoya versus Trinidad and Taylor versus Wright. See, De La Hoya kicked his own ass in that fight. because De La Hoya decided to surf from round 9 to round 12. Now, if De La Hoya wouldn't have took 3 rounds off in that 3 rounds off in that fight and try to coast it for 3 rounds, then he would have won that fight. There is no way that De La Hoya could win a fight when you take 3 rounds on the back foot and you just try to avoid punches the whole night. That's not going to work. And in some ways, that's what Canelo was doing. That's what I felt like Canelo was doing in some pockets in this fight, round by round, laying on the ropes, not doing anything, completely dismissive of inactivity. So I don't know. Like, I don't know what you guys judge in sequence, just like, I know what I judge in sequence. But that shit is the type of shit that's going to get you to lose the fight. So when people consider De La Hoya versus Trinidad controversial, I definitely don't consider that a controversial fight because De La Hoya decided I'm not going to do anything because I feel like I got this all in the bag. And fucking Felix Trinidad was just pouring it on the whole second half of the fight and making the most of his time. You got to stay busy. Like, yo, and that the whole concept of stealing rounds, because I could even say that in certain spots in this fight to where there was this whole concept where Canelo was trying to steal rounds and shit like that. That shit doesn't work for me. When you have 3 minutes to fight, stealing rounds with the last 20 something seconds or so, that doesn't quantify. What did you have for the second Triple G fight? Honestly, I had, for real, I just nipped it as a draw. I had Triple G by landslide in the first one, but I kind of nipped the second one. I watched it twice, and I just went ahead and just said, I'm going to just nip it as a draw for real. But more or less, I felt like, I honestly need to go back and watch that a third time for real. Because a lot of people tell me from even Sporting News and a lot of other individuals, they have it to where a lot of people feel like Triple G won the second fight. For me, I felt like the fight was a draw. I felt like Triple G dominated the first fight. I felt like the second fight was a draw. I felt like, there was room for honestly, both guys to do more. But it's one that's another one. We can definitely revisit that as well. Because that one right there was a lot tougher to score than the first one. That's kind of crazy that you said that, Silver Surfer Lugia, when a lot of people have the impression when Deontay Wilder scored 2 knockdowns when he got blocks. What did they do? They scored that fight a draw, did they not? So it's kind of funny that you would say something like that. I don't care if you give a person. I don't care. Like I said, there's no room for a draw in that fight because I didn't have Canelo winning it. Canelo didn't win that fight to me. So a draw don't even matter. You know what I mean? So, you know what I'm saying? In any capacity, you can score a fight however you want to score the fight based off of whatever numbers you come out with and however it comes out. But at the end of the day, for me, and seeing a lot of fights, it goes down like this. There's a lot of money involved in Vegas, and there's a lot of money involved in betting with a lot of these fights. So sometimes, these judges will take a card, round it off, and make that shit seem insignificant where they're gonna give a fighter a draw, or they're fucking just gonna give a fighter the win. Based on, there are a lot of underlying workings in, you know what I'm saying, in the boxing world that don't necessarily correlate with the genuine perspective that we're giving it when it comes to the sport. Because we might be coming from a place of genuine perspective, or some other place might become. A lot of people come from a place of favoritism. They're just completely blind and see certain. But when it comes to them, though, they're not going to see it the way that we see it. I know by just straight up eye candy, I don't even have to fucking score the fight. I still see it the way I see it. But even going back scoring it, there are a couple of things to where I definitely gave Canelo probably, in this go round, I probably gave him more significant shots than I gave him within the first time I graded. But I still don't have it the way, others have it. And respectfully so, I respect everybody's scores. I'm not here to change anybody's opinion or anything. But I just think that we all can probably rest our head and understand that, Canelo didn't just walk out of that shit Canelo ain't walk out of that shit. Canelo was in smoke, and Austin Trout gave that motherfucker everything that he asked for and then some, even with a fucking knockdown. Like, a knockdown doesn't define a victory because there's a point system. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just don't define a victory off a knockdown. You got fucking 12 rounds of boxing to do. You know, you got situations where, you know, guys are coming on in the first half and they're looking great. Then you have situations in the second half to where guys are just completely on in the second half. It's kind of like, you know, the same conversation that people have when it comes to Vasily Lomachenko and freaking Tiafoe. Like, there's a lot of up in air conversation when it comes to that, because a lot of people feel like Tiafoe didn't necessarily have as much success in the second half of that fight as people believe he had. The deciding factor for me in that whole fight was the 12th round. Loma got hit with some shit that you just couldn't just deny. So I gave that fight to Tiafoe. And it was closer than what, you know, of course, his father and everybody else is trying to make it out to be. But all in all, you know, Lomachenko came on strong the entire second half of that fight. So it's just like, yo, you're going to have portions of fights to where it's just like, bro, you don't, when it comes to boxing, you don't narrow boxing down to a victory based off a knockdown. That's fucking crazy to me. Yeah, I understand all of that. But I'm speaking in the sense of what judges do. I'm not talking about you or I or whatever the case may be. I scored the fight 115-113, period. Period. Doesn't matter what you say to me. Doesn't matter what anybody else says to me. I scored the fight 115-113. I'm talking about how judges can take something and make it a completely different situation just to benefit the business that is boxing, and completely be dismissive of the genuine interpretation that we tend to put on the sport. Like, yeah, and a lot of people feel as though Canelo won the second fight. I don't feel like Canelo won the second fight because people felt like he was strong on the front foot. I just don't. I feel like, you know, I don't see it, man. Like, I don't know. That's just one that just needs to be revisited again amongst a group of, you know, individuals with a sound mind. But it's like, just in generally speaking, I'm not even talking about just the situation with Laura. I mean, I'm not talking about the situation with fucking Trout and Canelo. I'm just speaking in general, and how fucking, you know, judges huddled up in unison, and when they're making their decisions, or however they nicking the pad, like, bro, we can't act like they don't, you know what I'm saying, they don't make magic out of situations that isn't necessarily there. You know what I mean? They might sprinkle a little fairy dust in some situations. We know that they have the tendency to do that. But overall, you know, I just, you know, like, it's just crazy. It's just fascinating to me how people see different things in fights, and how, you know, like, how just how you guys and myself, how we see things completely different, and we watch the same fight, and even with me calling out punch by punch, shot for shot, there was no level of biasness, no level of holding hands or anything involved in it. We called it straight down the middle how we saw it, and we put it together. And even still, you know, people come out on two opposite spectrums, but it kind of leans toward the same thing, because you had it 116-112. And I didn't have it that way, but I had it in the opposite spectrum, somewhere within the same ballpark. This is my thing. I feel like as long as people fall somewhere within the same realm of what is a competitive fight, I have no gripe with that. You know what I'm saying? It's just when you start getting these astronomical scorecards, like, it's like, bro, how do you come up with that fucking number? How is that okay? Like, where did you get that from? What are you doing right now? You know what I mean? Like, that's where it gets out of control for me. But my whole thing is, the practice of boxing shouldn't be to where it's like, yo, how the fuck does one person get so fucking far removed from the other two judges that are on the panel? Or how does one person get so far fucking removed and they're scoring from everybody who's in the community or whatever while we're watching the fight and we're scoring. It just gets a little out of control for me. Like, I just felt like Trout was the busier man. He had the higher output. He landed more significant shots. Canelo just had a couple of thudding shots that, might have resonated on the mind with people for me. But you can't tell me in no fight I don't know who watches fights and watch a person lays on the ropes or just goes out there, shift his shoulders for a fucking whole minute and a half and doesn't touch a fucking soul. And people just like, yo, I'm going to give him that round because he punched him in the jaw once. That shit is insane to me. Insane. But once again, I'm not here to take away from what anybody is, but to lend their perspective when it comes to how, the lines are so blurred when it comes to us landing on type of equal footing when we have conversations. Like I said, just don't let your fucking scorecards get so fucking out of control from what the fucking fight really is, because that's when the chemical imbalance and the toxicity comes into play. Y'all feel what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of look, I think honestly that, scoring makes shit moody. Like judges scoring shit. Like, when they score shit, they completely change the conversation. We have one way of viewing things, then we have the score on some shit, and then we have just some shit that's just outlandish perspective. Like, some guys get robbed, some guys get the, clear and concise victories or whatever. But then there's just some shit to where the conversation where, like, yo, judges even have a way of making the conversation of boxing toxic when you're thinking in wins and losses, or you're thinking in people who just like, yo, and then there are just some people who favor who they favor. And in favoring that person, they are completely stuck on how they feel, and they don't want to see it any other way. That's what commentary does. That's what crowd cadence does. That's what CompuBox does. That's just what it is. That's boxing. Tell me, how many fights have you watched? I don't give a fuck if it's Chris Mannix. I don't give a fuck if it's over at the PBC, even Andre Ward and his cards. Like, you look at these CompuBox numbers and you're just like, look at the punch, look at the numbers look at the punch by punch scale. Like, when you're comparing one fighter to another fighter, I'm like, yo, how the fuck did they get there? Who came up with that? How did you see him get every punch he lands? You're giving this dude like another 3 or 4 punches to where he lands. All of these things play on the subconscious and how people feel about certain fights. And they're like, why did you see that or see that? That's why I try to completely take all of those things out, because all of that shit plays an element in how people feel about the fight. I think just get down to the grassroots of it all. Cut every bit of audio, every bit of sound, every bit of hoopla, every bit of conversation out of it. And we, the genuine fans, the hardcore people that love watching the fight, we make the conversation in the fight. We make the conversation. We're the deciding factor on what the point scale really is. We're the deciding factor on the judging. We're the deciding factor on how many persons, who's landing more punches here, who's busier here, who's doing that here, who's doing this here. We're the ones who decide that. Yo, these motherfuckers can't decide that shit for us, because we already know their agenda is completely flawed and fraud. Flawed and fraud. Shit is out of control. And man, but shout out to everybody, man. This shit was fun, man. Like, look, like, yo, that's what I'm saying. Like, in what world do you come to the conclusion where you get a 1-8, you know what I'm saying, a 118, 109 in the fucking Trout versus fucking Canelo fight? And that's what I'm saying. And that's the type of thing, like, no, look, that certain people, when they watch that fight, they're completely comfortable with. And guarantee they saw it like that. No matter what you say or whatever you're going to do, they saw it like that. No matter all of the inactivity Canelo had in the fight or whatever, people saw it like that. Like, yo, like, I'm sorry. Shifting shoulders and fucking trying to dipping under rights and lefts and not throwing back doesn't equate to winning rounds for me. It doesn't. And there's a lot of that going on, because, I made it a point to, point out, because that's what was going on in the fight. I'm just like, look at how much this dude is just not working. And that's a major part of scoring, like your work rate. Like, I'm just like, bruh, you getting out work. Even with the knockdown, you are still getting outworked. And even with the knockdown, he got up, and you still could argue and be like, because you want to know what's crazy about that? Remember when Tyson Fury got knocked down in the 12th? It was the 12th, correct? Didn't everybody have like an understanding that, like, yo, even though Tyson Fury got knocked down in that fucking 12th round, Tyson Fury still got up and proceeded to whoop on his ass. Like, believe it or not saying that Austin Trout just got up and he whooped on his ass, but Austin Trout got up, and I was surprised the way he fought through that and still to connect on a level that he was connecting. So it wasn't like, yo, that's why it was easy for me to make a decision in certain areas, in certain rounds, because once again, a significant shot is a significant shot, but if it isn't holding any significance and slowing the opponent down or stopping the opponent from pressing his attack and still being able to punch with conviction and land a bunch of shots, I really can't, I really can't give you much for that. You know what I'm saying? So once again, it's a good little social experiment. But then you'll run into those fans that point up their fighter no matter what happened. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's crazy. Fury versus Wilder was 12 round, and it was a 10-9 round. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because Tyson Fury managed to come back, get up off the canvas, punched him, and even rocked him and wobbled him as well, in a sense. So where he had, I think that, Wilder was even clinching to a certain aspect in that 12. So it's just like, yo, you even have the ability to get up, and just because you get knocked down, it doesn't necessarily change the course of a whole round per se, but you can make a good case for yourself to where it's just like, man, like, look, that's why I said a knockdown doesn't define a win in 12 rounds. It just doesn't. But man, this was great. I enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? Like, a good night of judging and stuff like that. Oh yeah, and I wanted to speak on one more thing before we close all of this stuff out and shit like that, because I was speaking about Anthony Joshua earlier, and talking about how he's too nice, and I kind of left abruptly. And the reason I left abruptly is because on the 21st, I figure out whether I have to have surgery on my intestines or not. So anytime that I get really loud and like I give y'all the necessary energy that I give you when we're talking on the lives and things like that, it literally like inflames my intestines to where it like protrudes, like, because I have a hernia right now, like behind my belly button and shit. So it like protrudes, swells the fuck out of my belly button. It hurts the fuck. It's not comfortable at all. Just talking, or because talking tightens your abs. Any form of flex tightens it, inflames it, or whatever. So sometime I'll cut out abruptly based on my energy for that. But when I was speaking on Anthony Joshua earlier, and I was talking about his attitude, how he was too fucking nice, I still can't get over the majority decision draw in Mayweather Canelo. My God, those were some of the fucking worst fucking cards I'd ever seen in my entire life. Especially when you just stood in the pocket and got your ass beat on. Like, truly got your ass beat on. Yeah, James, man, like, I'm hoping it all works out too. Hopefully I can just get past it, get surgery. But like, the only way of getting rid of a hernia is like, does it a little bit now. It is getting surgery, but the way they do the surgery is like they use this like hernia mesh. It's like some form of mesh that they put around your intestines or whatever to block it from being able to protrude past the belly button wall or whatever. Because like one day I was fucking like lifting this big ass pushing this big ass shelf, and when I was pushing the bitch, I just felt like something pop in my gut. Like, and the shit started burning so fucking bad. I didn't know what it was. It felt like, just imagine like you get shot by a bullet and you just got a bullet lodged in your stomach. That's what it felt like. If it was, it probably felt like equivalent to getting shot in the gut. So I like had to take like the whole fucking I had to take like the whole fucking day off work and some shit like that, and I never knew what it was. And then come find out some months later over time, that's what it ended up being. And then now this is where I'm at. So, it is what it is. I'm perfectly fine. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate all shit like that. Man, Duce gonna be all right, man. I fuck myself up all the time. You know what I mean? It's just, you know what I'm saying? My mentality is always to bounce back. It ain't shit. I'm gonna get through whatever I get through. You know what I'm saying? It's just the prospect of going back under anesthetics and shit like that. I ain't really trying to do that. But if I gotta do it, you know what I'm saying, for my kids, I will do it. But yeah, but basically about Anthony Joshua and me speaking on him being too nice earlier. Basically what I'm saying is, man, like, boxing was never meant to be a nice guy sport. And I understand good sportsmanship and all of that. I understand people think that, you expect a boxer to behave like your soccer player or your hockey guy or your football guy or whatever the case may be. But motherfuckers was never meant to be nice. Now, Exhibit A, I said a couple of years ago, and a lot of guys had a certain feeling about it when I said Anthony Joshua was too fucking nice. You should be a gorilla. Let your nuts hang. Take no prisoners. Think of all of the things Anthony Joshua had done from, let's say, 2018 up until now. Let's say Deontay Wilder's finances increased simply off of the fact that Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua were willing to bend and break at every angle to try to get a certain fight so they could get the WBC strap. Now, I get it. I understand that you want it, and there's nothing wrong with that. But think about all of the things that he sacrificed and he compromised along the way to do so. You're compromising. You're compromising your purse to throw away money to a guy that doesn't even deserve it. When if you look on the PBC aspect of the things, when you're rounding up all of the straps and shit like that, you're just willing to give that to an organization who wouldn't even give that to their own fighters, an organization who would never give that to you. You're ready to forfeit 50% to a person who hasn't even sold out 12,000 seats. First pay-per-view, Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, they're in the freaking Staples Center, and they don't even do what? They don't even do this full 20,000. They sold 300,000 pay-per-view buys in combination with one another, and this is supposed to be a heavyweight, star-studded event. What did he do with Andy Ruiz? You let Andy Ruiz hold your fucking belts. So, and then what happens after you let him hold your belts? You get your fucking ass kicked. So for me, I'm just like, what is all of this? I want to be nice. I'm trying to please this individual and that individual. At the end of the day, when boxing was never meant to be nice. You think Emmanuel Stewart was ever nice to Vladimir Klitschko? When it came down to business, you think he was ever nice to Lennox Lewis? Lennox Lewis, motherfuckers still hate him to this day. But one thing I can say about him, nice guy outside the ring. But do you think he was fucking nice as a boxer? No, he was mean. He was a savage. He was a vicious fucking animal, a ferocious intent. He wanted to beat you. He wanted to break you. Every sense of the word, he wanted to emasculate you. Oscar De La Hoya wasn't nice. Why is Anthony Joshua so nice? Why do you want to take pictures with your opposition before you doing battle with them? Why are you having all of these conversations with them if it's not based around the business? Why in your face off is all of this respect? See, here's the deal. Everybody that is lined up when it comes to the sport of boxing is lining up because they want to take your fucking hat off. Absolutely. It's called flipping a switch. Everybody wants to take your freaking head off. Everybody. Everybody in the world, they see you. They see what you have. They're envious of you. Nobody likes you, Anthony Joshua, and I'm going to tell you why. You're a European fighter who's a good-looking young man who held 3 titles, who fills up stadiums, who fills up arenas. People follow you in fucking droves. You have all of the things that other fighters don't have. You have you have marketing deals. You have fighters underneath your fucking belt. You have how do I put it? You got Under Armour contract. You have a network deal. Shit, you have a whole lot of things that no fighter at the Premier Boxing Champions has. The only other person that could get that was Canelo Alvarez, Manny Pacquiao up until he left. None of these guys got network deals like that. They don't have contracts like that. So all of these dudes, they're gonna shit on you and they're gonna try to downplay your accomplishment. They were never gonna give you the respect that you deserve. That's the sport of boxing. What I mean by they were never gonna give you the respect you deserve, they understand that you can fight. They understand that you can knock motherfuckers' heads off and do all of those things. Do it very well. They acknowledge the movement that is behind you. But if that movement isn't benefiting them on the American side of the pond, if that movement isn't putting any money in their pocket, you are the biggest threat to their bottom line. So why are you going out of your way to bend, break in every sense of the fucking word and conform and try to be everybody's freaking friend when everybody is hunting you? Nobody is looking at you, and that's the thing. They want you to get close to them, play with them, because they want to make you comfortable. You got yourself put in position. Look, you think Usyk is nice? So when people say that they don't believe that Anthony Joshua lost the fight because he was too nice, yes, he did. You let what people believed of you or what people said about you decide how you were going to go about handling your business. Everybody felt as though Usyk was a superior boxer to you. You wanted to go out and show them that you could box better. Why would you do that? That's not your game. Now, for Andy Ruiz, that is a completely different bag because he's a fat ass. He can't move. But you're dealing with somebody with superior intellect, superior boxing skill, faster fucking hands, puts together combinations better than you, and just has a better understanding of where his feet placement is supposed to be. He's a fucking southpaw. He's awkward. All of these things you have to take into consideration. But you're going out of there to step out of the norm to do something that you shouldn't be doing. Like in too many occasions, I've saw this guy willing to do more for other individuals than they would ever be willing to do for him. If Anthony Joshua was ever in those positions where those guys were garnering the highest pays in boxing, if they had all of the belts, if they were the ones that had the movement, they had the money, all the girls are following them around and stuff like that, they call you gay, they make fun of your friends, they do all of these things. Some of it's in the love of the sport, but then some of it's just out of malicious intentions or whatever. And that's just the nature of the beast that is boxing. Do you think Deontay Wilder probably one of the nicest fucking loyal fucking family men on this planet, but he is probably one of the biggest piece of shits when it comes to the mentality of the respect that you're supposed to have from the sport. The respect that is given from the fans in the sports come from the aspect of you being a warrior and how you conduct yourself as a warrior, but it doesn't come from you just bending over. Deontay Wilder flipped the switch, bronze bomber, knocking everything off, fucking just completely evil, savage, ferocious beast. You're the gentle. Everybody looks at you like the gentle giant, like that they can just get a piece out of. You know, you're more than willing to give, and that's not how it should be. You got to understand that when you are the prime, when you're the big game. You're the big game piece. You're the piece that everybody wants. You're that big 12-point buck that everybody wants to hang on their mantle. Period. You've got to deal with everything that you do with ferocity. You got to deal with Alexander Usyk to where no love. I really don't want to see this dude face. I don't want to do these interviews. I want to be behind closed doors. I want to be freaking cold. I want to, you know what I'm saying? I really want to focus on what I need to focus on. Keep your mind in the darkest of places, in the trenches, to where you can prevail. Because clearly everybody caught you with your guard down. Usyk, you shaking it. Look, if Usyk would have beat me, and I know I got a rematch clause with him, I'm sorry, but why are we taking pictures after the fact? You know, he wanted to walk you back your belt and get that back to you. You know what I would have said, Brody? I'd have been like, nah, go ahead and keep that. Because I'm going to rip that motherfucker right off your back with a right hook. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all taking pictures, hugging, and you're cool and stuff like that. Low key, bro, everybody is your enemy until you deal with them on the business side of it. then you could be cool about things. But until then, understand that until you deal with your problems, everybody is a problem. And those are the things that I just wanted to highlight to people and to get them to understand that I'm tired of seeing this guy could clearly be a beast. You say you come from that, so you need to show that. And like understand that there's gonna be no love lost from the fans. Honestly, probably people would be more happy that you weren't so nice, that you didn't bend so much, that you didn't offer up 50-50 to a Tyson Fury who did absolutely nothing to deserve it but fight Deontay Wilder. That you didn't offer up $100+ million so you can get in a situation to fight Deontay Wilder. That you didn't just let Andy Ruiz hold your belt and then he goes out there and beat your ass in Madison Square Garden in front of the fans and you got Eddie Hearn's face flushed red and it's just sitting his head in his lap on your American debut. If you would have always been switched on the entirety of these times, will we be in this situation? I don't think so. Because a person that's all the way switched on, that a ferocious individual that's all the way switched on, they're going to be the one that they're going to make it a point to run over you. Like when you see Terrence Crawford, amazing guy, humble and all of that stuff, but he's a goddamn beast. When it come time for boxing and all of that, ain't no goddamn friends. There ain't no smiles. There ain't no hugs. There ain't no that. Why is Anthony Joshua the only one that does shit like that? It's one thing for Nonito Donaire to freaking translate for his opponent because he doesn't have a translator. But it's another thing for you to do the stuff that you're doing. It's never going to work. You got to be one or the other. And if all of these things bother you, if you really want this as bad as you say you want it, then you're going to make sure that you just dismiss yourself from all of this shit that you've been doing. Because the only way that he's going to beat Alexander Usyk is he got to get up out of the nice shit, man. Like, yo, it's just too, it can't work out. It's like trying to I don't know, man. I don't know. It's kind of like, man, you can't, it's kind of like on some superhero shit where the motherfuckers like, yo, you know you a superhero and no matter how many times Spider-Man tried, he still got Gwen killed. He still got freaking Mary Jane killed because of the business that he's in. You can't toe the line of both. Some things that you're going to have to give up to be able to achieve what you want to achieve. And along the way, some shit got to get sacrificed, man. And one of the things, it might be what you are. You might want to present a certain way. Man, look, you got all love in the world. Nobody going to give up on you, but you must give up on that. Carlos Rosado, salute. Like, I honestly don't believe that he switched on. I believe that he is completely switched off. I believe that all of the things that he's done up until this point, I think that he's second guessing himself. I think that he honestly believed that he might have made the wrong decision and maybe he should have put down some belts. Maybe he should have thought it fucking through on what he was doing. Blah, 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 blah. He's making all of these statements about, I could have been undefeated. And that just sounds, it seems like it's coming from a defeated perspective for me. So when I speak on him in a sense of being too nice, when people are like, yo, being nice isn't what got his ass whooped. No, being nice got his ass whooped twice. And being apprehensive, all of that shit plays a part in that. Yeah, that's what I call him, Myron. His name is Kahel No. Because every time it come to competition, his ass say Kahel No. That's his name. God damn it. Look, man, Hands of Stone was, Hands of Stone might have been nice, but I don't think he wasn't kiki. He wasn't chopping it all up, having drinks with his opposition before they had matches and shit. Like, I guarantee you, if one of his opponents, If Anthony Joshua opponent wanted to go over to his room and probably have a drink with him or something, sit down and drink, sip some water, talk, play a video game, or do whatever the case may be, he gonna allow him to do it. He's that type of boxer. And what world does being a warrior and those type of things go in the same? They work. It's never worked. Muhammad Ali, great guy. He always switched on. Character, it might have came off a little bit funny, but he meant every bit of how great he was and how much he's gonna whoop your ass. Gotta stay switched on. That's all I meant by that. But my shit, I'm doing too much talking this evening. So I want to wrap this thing up. I appreciate everybody for coming out. Anthony Joshua, I just want to see you reach your full potential. And I don't think you even got close to that yet. And I think you have a lot to offer, man. Like you really have a lot to offer. I really think that you could beat this guy if you do the things that a heavyweight does and do the things that you was built to do. Like, yo, just abandon the, embracing everybody shit. Like, yo, coach ain't supposed to be nice to you. Ron McCracken ain't supposed to be like a father figure. I feel like all of that shit holds you back. Like my head coach, like it's like coaching a bunch of freaking shit. It's like coaching a bunch of kids in the little league. Yeah, you can be nice to them all day long, but when they fucking acting up, what gets them in line? Like fools. You gotta be hard with men. You gotta be hard in this practice. Cause like I said, everybody wants your helmet, man. And if you the only guy that's being nice out there, bro, you susceptible to get clipped every time. Every time. Every time. I ain't never seen a nice guy in boxing before. Now, what they do outside of boxing, that's one thing. Or when they're trying to be an ambassador for rights in the sport, that's one thing. But when it comes to time to fight, man, that's a completely different bag. As we always say at the end of the shit, it costs you nothing to pay a nigga no mind. Everybody have a great night. Respect.